And it doesn't matter.
But I think
Ozzy Osbourne, who just died, bless him, in his whatever that state that he was in his whole life, we'll never know.
The feud that erupted when Roger Waters blasted Ozzy Osbourne shocked fans. Waters, the architect of Pink Floyd's darkest soundscapes, aimed his sharpest criticism at the Prince of Darkness himself, dismissing Ozzy as a circus act.
He didn't, although he was all over the TV for hundreds of years with his idiocy and nonsense.
A spectacle built on antics rather than artistry. It was the kind of insult only a fellow icon could deliver, and it left the rock community reeling. But then something happened nobody expected. Mick Jagger, the Rolling Stones frontman, one of the last living giants of rock, stepped into the fire. And he didn't step in quietly. He called out Roger Waters, not just for his attack on Ozzy, but for a lifetime of bitterness, arrogance, and feuds that had defined Waters' career.
I think he could button up his mouth a little bit. And I think that would be very helpful to getting the Stones back together if he would, grow up a little bit himself.
What began as one man's insult became an all-out war of words among rock's greatest survivors. But to understand why Jagger's defense of Ozzy carried so much weight, you have to know the context.
The music, I have no idea. I couldn't give a don't care about Black Sabbath. I never did. Right. I have no interest in biting the heads off chickens or whatever they do. I couldn't care less.
Roger Waters isn't new to controversy. His genius as a songwriter is unquestionable. The Wall and Dark Side of the Moon are pillars of rock history. But Waters has also built a reputation as one of the most difficult men in music. He feuded with his bandmates until Pink Floyd splintered. He fought over rights, royalties, and even the band's name. His live shows became as much about politics as music, often alienating fans who came for nostalgia and left with lectures.
This is my advice. When anything crops up, so it could be Israel, Palestine, it could be anything, it doesn't matter what it is. You must read.
So when Waters turned his fire on Ozzy, it wasn't just criticism. It was another chapter in a long history of tearing down others. His attack on Ozzy stung because of what Ozzy represents.
So I'm more
just
interested.
For clarity, just for the sake of artistic integrity, I think it was a bat he bit the head off of.
Oh, okay. Oh my God, that's even worse. Right. Isn't it? I don't know. Is it worse to bite the head off a bat or a chicken? I'm not sure. They're both pretty tricky.
To millions, Ozzy Osbourne is the raw soul of heavy metal. He's chaos incarnate, a man who lived on the edge of destruction and somehow survived long enough to become beloved.
The question was, they want to know about our daily routine if it's not private.
Well, I get up, take a piss, have a shave, come downstairs, and that's it.
Oh, that's hardly it.
He wasn't polished like Pink Floyd. He wasn't intellectual like Waters, but that was the point. Ozzy was the everyman of rock, broken, messy, and human. His fans didn't love him despite his madness. They loved him because of it. So when Waters dismissed Ozzy as a gimmick, fans saw it as an attack on everything Ozzy stood for. And that's when Mick Jagger stepped in. Jagger, who has seen it all and survived it all, broke his usual diplomatic tone to defend Ozzy. He reminded Waters and the world that rock isn't just about perfection or politics. It's about energy, rebellion, and connection. Ozzy may not be your kind of artist, Jagger reportedly said in a backstage exchange, but he's a real one. He's lived it. And people love him for it. Who are you to decide what's valid? The words spread like wildfire because they weren't just a defense of Ozzy, they were a rebuke of Waters' entire career of bitterness.
I think he could button up his mouth a little bit. And I think that would be very helpful to getting the Stones back together if he would, grow up a little bit himself.
But this wasn't the first time Roger Waters had clashed with legends. His war with David Gilmour, his Pink Floyd bandmate, became one of the most infamous feuds in rock. Their split was ugly, with Waters suing the remaining members for using the name Pink Floyd. Gilmour accused him of arrogance, Waters accused Gilmour of betrayal, and fans were left heartbroken as one of the greatest bands in history tore itself apart. Waters also took shots at Paul McCartney, dismissing the Beatles' pop melodies as lightweight compared to his grand concepts. He feuded with critics, with record executives, even with his own audiences. For decades, Roger Waters seemed to thrive not on unity, but on conflict. And that's what made Jagger's intervention so explosive. The Rolling Stones frontman has had his share of rivalries, most famously with the Beatles in the 1960s, but Jagger has always balanced rivalry with respect. He knew the value of legacy, the importance of honoring those who shaped rock. And for him, Ozzy was one of those figures. By calling out Waters, Jagger wasn't just defending a friend, he was defending the spirit of rock and roll itself.